Hello, guys, and welcome back. It was more than a year ago. Matter of fact, I think it's almost close to 2 years that I did a video called The Most Comfortable Jeans I've Ever Worn. And that video did pretty well. Unfortunately, that video was about a company which is no longer around. Blue Rise Denim. They're gone. Done. Over with. And there was some feedback on that video, which they didn't like. Here's what happens, okay? Any video that I do, it's either a great product, which is pretty expensive, relatively speaking, or it's a product which is more affordable, but it's usually made overseas, or there's ways to build it to a price. And you get people on either side. So if it's an expensive product, they'll say, I can't afford that. Why can't you do more reviews on things that I can afford? Which I try to do. I try to, remain sympathetic and accommodate the people who are looking for things at a lower price point. If it's something that's at a lower price point, well, the snobs start to come out, like myself, and we start saying, well, why can't you just find something that's made in the USA? This isn't 100% cotton or 100% wool. What are you doing? Why should it be that expensive? People have an opinion. They're eager to share that opinion. And to be honest with you, I welcome the sharing of opinions as long as it's done in a respectful manner. I mean, listen, we all have different things that we look for. But I would like to declare today that I have found a new most comfortable jeans. As a matter of fact, two most comfortable jeans and most comfortable chino I've ever worn. Now, comfort isn't the end-all be-all, and that's kind of why I wanted to wear a hoodie in today's video. There are definitely ways to get things which are comfortable, but they still look dressed up. So it's not like you're wearing your pajamas out, because after all, if comfort is the end goal, well, then there are ways to do that. But we want to do that. We want to have comfort be of a high priority. But we also want it to look good, to be dressed up, to be built well. And so that's exactly what I have here for you today. The brand is called, now here's the thing, I couldn't find an exact pronunciation on it, and I know you pronunciation Nazis out there are going to hit me no matter what. They'll call it Kato. Some people will call it Kato, depending on where you are. So there you go. There's both pronunciations. Figure out which one you like and use that one. Anyway, it's Kato Brand, and they have sent me two wonderful pairs of pants. One jeans, one being chinos, and they are excellent. The two models we are going to look at today in this video are the Pen, which is a 14-ounce stretch selvage in raw indigo, made in the USA of Japanese fabric. I should probably say that again, because if you're checking off boxes, chances are that's just about checked off every single one that you can have, right? The other model is the Axe. Now, this is actually an 11-ounce stretch French terry cloth, which is woven to look like a traditional chino fabric, but it has four-way stretch as well. And they're both wonderful. Now, the stretch is undoubtedly the reason that they are so comfortable. But again, there's the build quality. They're made in the USA. They're made out of some very, very nice materials, and they're put together in a way which is very appealing. So let's get into it. Let's begin with the Pen. Now, these are the jeans right here. They're super stretchy, super comfortable. You can put these on and you just don't feel like you're wearing jeans. Most of the time, raw indigo and selvage and all that stuff, it means a starchy kind of uncomfortable feeling jean, which I'm used to and I'm fine with. But boy, when you have all that into the package of something with some stretch in it, that is very, very nice. Now, they're not stretchy the way you would think of sweatpants as stretchy, but when it comes to the world of denim, they've been messing around with stretch for a while, and they've had some issues because in the beginning of the world of stretch, it would stretch, but eventually it would kind of like bag out and it wouldn't retain that original shape. Stretch has come a long way in the last few years, and these, I mean, I haven't worn them long enough to say that after a year they don't bag out, but, once I do, I'll let you know. They seem to be just perfect, though. I mean, everything about them is just, they wear nicely, they're very comfortable. They have some really cool, unique details, which, of course, I love. I eat that stuff up. Little selvage ID here. A lot of people don't really like when you have exposed selvage. One of the reasons that they do this, though, they'll do it in an area where they don't have to fold the fabric over on itself. It's basically a finished edge, which they don't have to do anything else with. Sometimes people just like to see it, so sometimes you may see it used on a belt loop or on the coin pocket here like this, or, of course, when you turn the cuff up. The cool thing about this one, though, is that they've used this orange selvage ID which kind of the orange and the white reminds me of like a creamsicle. Really kind of neat, a little bit different. I like that because, you know, your typical red line selvage, you could find that at Macy's now, you know, basically everywhere. The other cool thing is that they've gone with this very sort of old school offset back belt loop here that goes on an angle. And one of the reasons that you'll see companies do this, especially when it comes to heavier denims, is that way they don't have to overlap several seams. So if you were to go from there to the middle of the back there, you would have like basically like 8 layers of fabric where it folds back on itself, where these two interlock. It's a spot where you'd have a lot of buildup of fabric, and it just looks cool. You know, it's a choice though. The way they did that, and when you put a belt on and you have that little kind of diagonal thing going there, I think it's pretty neat. Now on the inside you have the Made in the USA label. The stitching comes through on the back in this sort of orange. And besides that, it's a pretty simple jean. You know, they have their own Kato leather patch, which is very nice. You can put a belt through it, which some people like to do and some people don't. I actually like putting a belt through the patch. I think it's just another point that kind of holds your pants up, which is always good. But besides that, the stitching on it, everything else looks really, really nice. About what you would expect for a $200-ish pair of jeans. And again, I know that that's not cheap, but if you're looking to buy quality over quantity, well, that's kind of the run-of-the-mill price. I mean, that's pretty average, you know, $200 for a pair of jeans. I never thought I would say that. Let me just take a moment. As a working guy, right, working blue-collar jobs, I was always laughing at people who bought $200 pair of jeans because, and even there's somebody in the comments who comments quite a bit. I can't remember your name right now, who always says, well, I'll just stick with the ones I get from, I think it's Target or whatever. That's fine. You can do that. There are different options out there, and that's what I want to show you with this kind of thing. I'm not saying that if you don't buy $200 jeans, you're you know, no good, or you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. Everybody likes something different. I have Levi's upstairs in my bedroom, which are like $40, and I wear those too. But if you're looking for something that's a bit more, or you want some special stuff like stretch, like selvage, all that kind of thing, they come at an additional price. So yeah, they cover your pants, they cover your nether regions and all that stuff, and they are jeans just like any other jeans out there. But when you start getting into a little bit more of a niche group like selvage and raw denim is, well, then the prices go up accordingly. One of the things that you will see here that you don't normally see on selvage jeans, most artisanal jeans, is a zipper. Most of the time, you'll see button flies. And I've gotten so used to button flies, I actually just talked about this, that, you know, I usually button the top, the waistband button, that I bottom from the bottom up on the fly. And I'm so used to doing that I forgot how nice it is to just have a zipper instead of having to go through the whole buttoning process. Having a zipper is great. They used a YKK zipper in there, so you know it's some good stuff. It's not going to break down, rather than some off-brand Chinese kind of thing, which, you know, when the zipper goes on a garment, you might as well throw the whole thing away because it's just, you know, to get it replaced, just an additional cost, pain in the neck. So they've used a zipper there, their own branding here on the snap at the top. Besides that, there's really not a lot to it. They're very, very simple. Not a lot of dressy, fancy details. Not like, you know, back pocket IDs and stitched on there and stuff like that. They are just a good-looking, dark indigo jean with some stretch. Now, there are a couple of cons, of course. With anything, nothing's perfect. I have yet to find the perfect product out there. These are available in like a slim fit. Right? Not a super duper slim, but definitely a slim fit. That's what these are right here. If you're not used to that, typically I like to wear a straight cut because I wear some pretty clunky boots. These don't really go with a work boot. Now, I mean, you know, that's kind of subjective. You may like that look. I don't. I like the way a more full leg cut goes with chunkier boots. So these are definitely slimmer, as you can see here. And if you don't like that, well, then your options are very limited. You don't really have a whole lot as far as that goes. So that's one thing. The other thing is they're not cheap. These are not cheap jeans. When we're talking about $209 for this pair right here, they are also available in a lighter, if you're not into the 14-ounce kind of thing, you want something that's a little bit lighter, they're available in, I think, a 10.5 ounce. So kind of a nice thing for the summertime there. But $200, $200 plus, that's not cheap. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. I understand that. And, you know, if you're somebody who's searching around and these jeans seem to fit they check every single box, well, then, you know, that's a lot of money. So, yeah, made in the USA, Japanese fabric, stretch, raw, indigo, I mean, all that good stuff, but it still comes at a price. So those are two things which, you know, depending on what you like or what you don't like or what you're able to afford, could be a con. So when Kato actually approached me to do this video, they were talking about their jeans and they were also talking about their chinos. I have never really found a chino that I've been blown away by. Most of the time, I have a very just kind of meh reaction to most chinos. Yeah, they work, they look fine. Yeah, that's about it. This is the first time where I've ever been like, you know what? I like those chinos better than I like the jeans. And I'm a denim guy. But these are something special. These are really, really nice. Number one, well, you know what? Let me not get ahead of myself. These are the Axe in military green. They are an 11-ounce stretch French terry, which is woven to look like a traditional chino, but they are so soft, so comfortable. By far the most comfortable pants I own. Those other ones are definitely comfortable. The Pen, indigo, you know, but with you have a sort of a rougher texture when it comes to denim. This, on the other hand, is like, it feels like you're not wearing pants. It really does. When you put these on, you think that your legs stayed in bed. It's amazing. They are so comfortable. And again, very simple. What I like about them is they're not overboard with their designs. So these have the same four-way stretch, but these are even stretchier, probably due to the material. They're crazy stretchy, and they don't only stretch width-wise, they're 360 degrees, so they stretch in length and in width. Any way that you move, these just are along the ride, and they'll take the punishment and they'll just come back and ask for more. Now, of course, there are a couple of things that I really like about these too, as far as details go. And some of those things are really along the line of a more traditional chino garment. So they have like the little, you know, you want to call it a watch pocket or a coin pocket right here on the right-hand side, which is actually in front of the front pocket right there. A lot of chinos have these. Nice little place to put something small, your keys, something like that. Originally, I believe this was intended for a pocket watch. Not many people carry pocket watches anymore. On the back, you have one flapped pocket, and you have one that's not. And if you'll notice, even the stitching, they've used orange stitching on this dark military green fabric, and it's a beautiful contrast. What a great selection of colors. The orange looks really nice. They even use it on the front. Sort of an oversized button for the fly here. And it works very, very well. And again, it's not so in your face. It's the subtle details which look really nice. And I love the way they did it. Small Kato leather branding right there above the right rear pocket. Oh man, besides that, there's not really a whole lot to talk about except for the color, the sort of pre-worn in look, and the way that the stretch is just unbelievable. It is so nice on these. For the price, these are $219, so about $10 more. Not about, they're $10 more. I can do math. You really are getting a chino which is understated, extremely comfortable, unique enough that people will probably say, you know, where'd you get those? But they won't be screaming it out loud. They're perfect in my mind. As a matter of fact, these are not only the most comfortable chinos that I've ever worn, they're just the best hands down as far as comfort, the details, the style that I like, you know, which is a little bit more subdued and not so in your face. They're excellent. And, you know, made in the USA, all the other good things that come with it. In my opinion, these things stole the show. Where I originally thought this video was going to be about the jeans and the denim, these things just ran away with it. I love these. I found myself wearing these more than anything else that I've gotten since I've owned them. So they're fantastic. So here we have a brand which is priced very similarly to the other heritage style brands out there. Brands like Taylor Stitch or Filson or other brands which are sort of in that, well, it's going to cost quite a bit, but I'll have it for a long time kind of thing. At least that's what comes to my mind. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe all of their offerings are made in the USA. So people who are asking for more made in the USA stuff, this is a great option. And ever since some brands have taken a lot of their manufacturing overseas, these are all made in the US, and if that's something that you're into, well, then I think they deserve a second look. As a matter of fact, getting these here have really, they've been very, very impressive offerings as far as reviews that I do and things that I see, that I really want to go back and see what else they have and how they will fit in my wardrobe, because I'm very impressed. Really some nice stuff here. And I love the made in the USA thing. I'm an American, I live in the US, and I appreciate that kind of thing. And it's becoming harder and harder to find. Now, one of the things that I wish that the brand would sort of expand into is some of the more straight cuts, some less slim cut. I mean, these chinos, as comfortable as they are definitely slim. And if you don't like that kind of thing, then there's not really a lot of, options for you as far as Kato goes, or Kato, however you want to say it. So I wish that they would expand a little bit more into that more fuller kind of cut for guys like me who like to wear chunkier boots, because sometimes it can just look a little bit silly. But besides that, these products really read as a what do I want in a pant? They check almost all those boxes. They really do. So again, Kato Brand, what do you guys think? This is a new one for me. I've never ever tried them before. This is a first experience into that brand for me. Do you want to see more of the things that they have to offer? Let me know. I'd love to know. So catch you next time. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. I mean, where else would you leave them? I'll see you next time.